Okay, let's talk about how to use Knowmia to host videos and insert questions to hold students accountable for watching these videos. So one nice thing that I like about Knowmia is, as a math teacher, I'm always struggling to find ways to embed mathematical notation. Knowmia does have an equation editor built into the questioning dialogues that you'll see. And although the students can't answer with the pretty math type, we can at least ask questions that don't involve SQRT, parentheses, ANS. We can use appropriate notation when we're asking questions of these students. To me, that's important. So here we go. First you log in as a teacher, you get yourself an account, and then under My Knowmia, we're going to scroll down. You'll see I've uploaded some videos directly into Knowmia that I've created with the Knowmia app on my iPad. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new private assignment. I'm going to click on that. You can see underneath that I had several assignments already there for some different classes. So I'm going to give this assignment a name, test assignment, and this is going to be a mathematics assignment. It's going to be, let's go with statistics and probability. Class name. You're going to want to delineate your assignments based on what course it's for, so you can track the students that are doing it. So I'm going to put this into RSPS HL1. And you put a due date on it. Let's say they need to do it by tomorrow before class starts. It's August 13th. Estimated time to complete. You don't have to fill it in. I'm going to tell them it should take them about 30 minutes. Don't have to leave a note. You don't have to leave instructions unless you want to. And now we're going to look at these different settings. We want the assignment to be online. You can lock it on a certain day. We want students to log in because we want to be able to see who is answering the questions and how they're doing with them. I don't want students to be able to skip forward. I want them to be able to answer the questions in the order that I ask them and watch the videos in the order that I put them in there. Allow a student to submit an incomplete assignment. I'm going to say no. They have to answer every question. And do we want to allow them to be able to modify their answers before submitting it? And you can leave this on or off. It doesn't matter. Do we want to show the correct answers? This is going to be important for me because I want feedback to be given to the students. After they answer it, yes, I want to give them feedback. Now, if you're going to do that, we should probably say they can't modify their answers before submitting it. So they answer it, it will immediately tell them if they did it right or wrong. And do we want feedback to be given after they submit the assignment? Yeah, and I'll go ahead and disable the ability to modify their answers. So I want to see what their first response was. So feedback, I don't want an email every time a student submits this assignment. You don't want that, disable that. It's not good. And if I'm going to give feedback, I want to allow students to respond to it. So now we're ready to build our assignment. And if I had a video that was in Knowmia stored here, I could come down and hit the plus, and that would put it into my assignment. Now, you don't have to store videos here. You can add external videos. So let's jump over to YouTube for a second. Let's take this video that I created for some statistics. I'm going to come down and welcome to our first day. Copy the link. Go back to Knowmia. I'm going to paste the link. And there we go. Now the video is a part of this assignment. Now I want to add some questions. There are multiple choice, open-ended, numeric, and you can even take a question from the textbook. I most of the time use multiple choice and numeric because Knowmia can grade those automatically. And that's nice for me as the teacher. I can look at the list of students and see what they put and what they got right and wrong. And the students can get immediate feedback too. If you want to add equations, you click on the FX button here. So multiple choice is the sky green. And my answers are going to be yes, and no. And which one's right? Well, no, of course. And then if you have automatic feedback you want to give, you would insert it here. So if they chose no, good work. If they chose yes, really? Now if they answer those questions, they'll get that feedback right away. And we can reorder this. I want that to come before the problem. Is this guy greed? Well, I don't want it to be greed. I want it to be green. So I'm going to come back in here, and I can edit it. Save the question. And then I could add questions afterward also. I'll add a numeric one. So I come over here to numeric. What is 1.3 plus 2.6? And we give the answer. It is 3.9. And we want the required decimal places to be 1. You have to be conscious of this. The students can't type radicals in here. They can't type, they can do fractions or decimals. That's it. So you have to be aware of that when you're designing your questions to put in. If you want them to put things like SQRT of something, you would want to do an open-ended question so they could type that SQRT right onto the screen. And again, we could add feedback. I'm not going to. Save the question. Now it's after that. So let's say I'm done. I've answered the questions that I want. Let's save and preview it. So here it is. This is the introduction to it. Gives the rules and answers, the way it works. And then it shows there's a question, then a video, then a question. It tells you here, there's one lesson that's 1847. There's 0 slides and 2 questions. Those slides are things that you can add that would give just visual prompts of what are going on. You can add slides here, kind of like a PowerPoint, if you will. But I'm ready to go. I like the way it looks. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to save and close the assignment. And now if I come down here, I'll look at that. It's under an unspecified class. I want this to be tracked within one of my courses. I want to be able to delineate that, so we need to go back in and edit this. And if we come down here to the class name, notice it's empty. Let's put it under RSPS HL1. We roll down, we save and close. And now if I go down to RSPS HL1, you see it's right here. And what we're going to do now is we would go share, and we copy this link and paste it onto whatever portal we're using to get students to our content. Me, I'm using Haiku, so I come to Haiku and I post this under one of my lesson tabs. You have the ability to track. This is why we want students to log in. If I click track on one of these old lessons up above, we can see that these students were watching the video and they answered the question. If there were any, here's one that's wrong. They answered AB instead of OA, which is correct. So, and if they left any feedback, you could see it here. Now this percentage thing, it's not very reliable if you're using an external source video. If you have a video that's stored in Knowmia and you're adding it to the lesson that way, this percentage will tell you how much of the video they actually sat and watched instead of just fast forwarding beginning to end, which is kind of nice, but kind of inconvenient at the same time. It will also tell you how much time they spent. Again, I don't know that this is real accurate if you're using an external video, but an internal video will give you a very good, very clear idea of how long they spent on this assignment. You can see here they started at 4:59, ended at 5:31. So 32 minutes they spent looking at this assignment. And I told them that the expected duration would be up to 30 minutes. So there we go. That's the basics of Knowmia. I hope that helps you get started with things and enjoy being able to ask questions and hold students accountable.